Chair in the right place?
Yeah, that's good out there.
Layperson's perspective who doesn't really know much about open wheel racing, can you explain open wheel racing to us?
I think the easiest way to explain it is with the main event which happens here in the United States, which obviously is the Indy 500. Basically IndyCar style, racing on that end of it, with cars which have three wheels, no roof on it, just for one driver with a seat in the middle. And that's basically is what Michael is going to do in 2012.
Great, Michael. Why did you choose open car racing instead of there's certainly other kinds of things out there that you could be racing?
We basically chose it. It was our first option. I thought I really liked open wheel racing, so we found open wheel cars, and I just found the thrill of it to be really exciting, and I just went that route.
How long have you been racing?
I've been racing altogether since I was 3. I started on motorcycles, and then I got hurt in 2005. 2007, I started racing go-karts, and then 2009, I started racing cars.
That sounds great. Were you totally devastated when you had your accident and thinking, did you think you'd never be able to race again?
Not at all.
Okay.
I told my dad right when I got hurt, and immediately when I landed on the ground, don't make me stop racing. And I just had to keep my heart into racing and never give up. And I haven't.
So what are some of the challenges then that you have that other racers don't?
I think some of the challenges I have is feeling the rear end of the car. I'm getting more feeling in my my low back and butt, but I'm feeling a lot of it to the steering wheel, and I'm still getting the feel of that. And then other challenges I have, of course, everything's to the steering wheel, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing, just depends on the track. But I'm learning, and it's definitely coming along.
Great. Matthias, do you want to explain a little bit about the road to Indy and the sort of progression that you need to get to the pinnacle of the open wheel racing world?
Sure. What IndyCar basically has done in 2009 is they established a clear-cut step-ladder system, which is 3 series leading up to the IndyCar series and the Indy 500, which is the USF 2000 series, the Star Master series, and then Indy Lights, which Michael is going to start with USF 2000 2012. The idea is that obviously each series is progressing more with more advanced cars, with higher speeds, higher horsepowers. But what IndyCar also has done in partnership with Mazda is that they put a scholarship together. So every time somebody wins a championship in one class, he's gonna get a full funded scholarship to race in the next higher category for the following year. So that's kind of like unique in racing what IndyCar has put together on that end of it. And then the other thing which I think needs to also be pointed out is that all the races, even in the support series, what Michael is gonna run, are gonna be run together with the big venues of the IndyCar series as well as the American Le Mans series. So even companies involved in supporting Michael, for example, or any other driver in those series, they're getting the same marketing platform like the big guys from the ISOT IndyCar series.
Good. Michael, I was thinking about you were telling a couple stories from when you from your racing experience, and you've got a great one about when you crashed and spun the car end over end. And if you guys both want to chime in a little bit and tell that story, it's great when you tell it together. So.
Yeah, I was racing Skip Barber. It was my first year, 2009, and it was a race in Lime Rock Park in Connecticut. And it was the first lap of the race coming to the start, and a guy spun in front of me. And we were at full power. I was going 80, 90, and I had nowhere to go, and I hit his rear end of the car, and it rolled me like 2 times, and it landed on top of the guardrail. And they came on the radio and asked if I'm all right, and I told them I couldn't feel my legs, and everybody started laughing, and it was just, that was the first start of really, everybody knew I was serious, and this was where I was meant to be.
Yeah, you do seem totally focused, and this is, you know, this is totally your life. And you know, when I say racing, you know, I mean, what comes to your mind when I just say the word racing, and you know, as far as your excitement around it?
Racing it takes me out of my zone of life. It puts me in a different mindset, and when I race, I want to win. That's everybody's goal, but for me, winning it proves that I did it, and it gives me that satisfaction.
So I was just going to talk about how you guys got started with JDC Motorsports, and how you guys kind of got together and started working. You guys make a great team, and so.
Well, we're not sure about that, but we'll try. Well, I think it was probably like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
When Michael just started, you know, with Skip Barber, and he just had stopped, you know, running go-karts. When I was approached, you know, from his dad, if I would be interested in working with them and helping them move Michael into, you know, the professional racing, if you want to call it, you know, that way, which obviously, you know, it takes funding, it takes, you know, picking the right team, it takes a lot of preparation, you know, and a lot of, you know, presentation, if you want to call it in that way, because it is a business to a degree on one end of it. So in the beginning, in all honesty, I tried to talk him out of it, because, you know, something like that has never been done before. So we basically started out talking with the seriousest, and I know John Church, the owner of JDC Motorsport, way back from when we raced together in the IndyCar Kart Championship.
JDC is one of the most.
JDC Motorsport is one of the most successful junior open wheel teams in the business. They won 11 championships in the last 5 years. So it was a logical choice that we obviously wanted to go with one of the best teams to, you know, give Michael the best chance of being successful and win races and ultimately win, you know, championships. So that's kind of like how this got us here at this point together.
So Matthias, from your standpoint, how does Michael compare to the other racers in your stable of people that you represent?
In you know, in not criticizing him, you know, too much, I think he obviously has the talent, because otherwise he wouldn't be here. I mean, and I think what he had to overcome to get here actually makes him more, you know, determined to making things happen, and I think that's one of his, you know, big pluses compared to other races. From my perspective in working with him, his biggest plus is he never complains. He never complains about anything. He just gets it done, and that's just, you know, very good from my perspective. You know, that he just says, you know, this is my goal, this is what I have to do, and whatever I have to do, I'm going to do it. So.